Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In tonight's video, we're going to go over some side hustles that can help you generate extra income without having to leave your full-time job. We're going to talk about some that I have done personally in the past and or doing now. We're going to talk about the ideas I have for you to get started, the benefits of each, the risk involved, as well as the downfalls and downsides of each. So guys, if you find value in tonight's video, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, and hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can let you know when we release new content. Also guys, in the description below are a couple of links to books that I have read in the past that have helped me not only in my professional career, but also in all of these extra little side hustles that I'm going to talk about tonight. So if you're looking to kind of sharpen your skills per se, take a look at those. They're super cheap books on Amazon. I think that you'll enjoy. So other than that, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Okay, guys, so side hustles, what are they and how can you make money from them? So a side hustle is something outside of your full-time place of employment that's going to help generate extra money for that class that you're trying to pay for in college, that car payment that you can't afford, extra food on the table. Maybe you want to just start saving money. You feel like you can never get ahead, so you want to make some additional money and just stack it up. That way, for a rainy day, you have something on the side. Okay, so these side hustles, every one of them will provide you that opportunity to do so. All right, the first one we're going to talk about, guys, is education. When I say education, there's a few different ideas. I think of tutoring, specific subjects, math, English, history, things like that, science, okay? It can be younger kids. I can tell you parents who have kids who are struggling in these areas, if they can afford to pay, I promise you they're going to pay, because I'm living that now. I've been tutoring for over 8 years, still doing it today, okay? Parents will more likely pay someone to teach their kids something as opposed to them learning the material and teaching it to them. That's why they send them to school, is they want the teachers to teach it to them, and they don't want to have to relearn it, okay? Training, guys, I'm thinking sports specific, but not just sports specific, okay? If I'm a coach by profession, so I make also additional income by training athletes off season, after school, or during the summer, basketball, skill development, things like that. Training could also be geared towards maybe working with people who need help building resumes, who need interview skills, who need to be help being organized, okay? And going back to tutoring, guys, it doesn't have to stop at the lower level. You could also focus college students as well if you don't really like working with younger kids, okay? Now, each of these um, side hustles I'm talking about here kind of one and the same, tutoring and training, just kind of two different aspects. One's kind of in the physical development, one's in the cognitive development, and both of these, the way that I kind of got my in was I'm a teacher and coach by profession, so I had people come to me because they knew I was actually good at a particular skill set. All right, if you don't have that in, but you are able to provide some type of benefit, then maybe you have to go into some schools and tell them, hey, I'm looking to get involved in doing this. This is who I am. Here's my resume. Here's my credentials. You can't obviously just walk in anywhere and say, I want to start tutoring kids or training people if you have no credentials. Plus, it helps if you know somebody at that particular school, a parent, a faculty member, something of that nature, that can help get you started. Group sessions, guys, can come later once you kind of establish yourself and you're doing one-on-one lessons with people and they're seeing results. People will probably start calling you saying, hey, you think you can work so-and-so in with this person at this time? And usually when that happens, let's say I have someone booked at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday and someone else calls me and says, the only day that we're free is Tuesday at 4. Think you can squeeze them in? Then I'll contact that person who's scheduled at 4 saying, would you mind if we do a group session? No, absolutely not. Okay, perfect. So I could either double what I'm making for that day in one particular hour, or if you have a lot of people coming, you could actually reduce your rate to where you're charging them less per hour because you're having a group as opposed to one-on-one sessions. So the benefits of this is you're making your own hours, you're setting your own rates, And the way that I did that, guys, is I just figured out when I wanted to work, what time I wanted to get off, and that's how I set my hours. My own rate, I chose based on a person who was actually doing this in the area already. I did some research. I contacted him because I knew how busy he was. He was actually turning people away, and that's how I got my first client. Was he turned that person away because he was too busy and deflected him back to me. And I said, well, what do you charge? And he told me, and he said, I wouldn't charge anything less than that. I said, okay, perfect. And I did that, and I've been charging it ever since. So you want to make sure that you do some research in the area. That way you're not overcharging, but also you're not lowballing it, and you're also able to value your time that you're putting in. Drop shipping, guys. This is something that I did in college to help pay a couple of semesters of grad school. Okay, it's crazy. I was looking for ways to make some extra money, and drop shipping is basically something where you can set up an online store, advertise items on the website, basically copy and paste all of the material from another website onto your website, and if someone buys the product from your site, you get paid. You turn around, you buy it from a supplier, ship it to that customer, and you never ever touch that physical item, okay? And you're just selling it at a markup. So for example, I had an eBay store, actually still have an eBay store, although I'm not really active in it anymore. And basically I would go over to Amazon, to Walmart, to Costco, to Wayfair, Overstock.com, whatever. And I would find an item, I'm like, man, this looks like it would sell. I would copy the description, I would bring it over, all the wording and everything I would take from there, and I would make a new listing over on eBay. And I would post that description there, change the title up, put some good keywords, use some websites to help me actually title my listing to where I get some good exposure. I would save the picture, I would crop the picture, maybe add my logo on it, kind of make it my own, things like that. And then I would post it to eBay. So let's say, for example, I'm selling a kitchen faucet on eBay, and you come and you're like, oh, I want this kitchen faucet, I'm going to pay $70 for it. You buy it from me at $70. Well, then once I see that you bought it from me at 70, I go over to Amazon, I buy it for 50, and I enter your information in, and I ship it to you, and I keep the difference. Okay, I'll pay 50 bucks for the item. Well, actually, you pay for it. Okay, so out of the 70 bucks, all right, 50 of it goes towards the item itself, and then the additional 20 you're going to have fees through eBay, through PayPal, things like that. So you actually may end up keeping maybe about 12, 10 to 12 bucks profit off of that. But if you do that enough, guys, that starts adding up. And once you get really, really good at it, you can sell some higher dollar items, and that really starts adding up. The biggest sale I ever had, biggest profit, was $150 to $200, but I sold several of them in 1 month. Was a steam cleaner, and I'm like, holy cow, this is crazy. But then I also had a lot of smaller items that sold like high volume, where all those little small things were adding up, where I was able actually to pay for a couple of semesters of grad school by doing this. Okay. The benefits of this is there's no inventory. You never touch any of the products unless you absolutely want to do that. Low overhead costs, little risk because you don't have to buy anything until someone pays you. Okay. And you can operate from anywhere as long as you have a computer and an internet connection. You should be able to do this very, very simple. So again, guys, if you haven't ever done anything like this, then there's a book in the description below. Take a look at it. You can buy it off of Amazon. The downfalls and the risk of this, guys, is there's a lot of competition. Everybody's doing this now. Okay, so you have a ton of competition if you're going to do this on eBay. All right. The risks are really, in my opinion, there's little to no risk. Okay, in my opinion. But the downfalls on it can get kind of time consuming. It's very, very competitive, so you have to stay on top of it constantly if you're going to do the eBay drop shipping thing. And you want to make sure that you're undercutting people and making sure that you have the best deal, because there's a lot of people doing this, so there's a whole lot of competition. Okay, guys, so another thing that's really big right now is affiliate marketing. There's a lot of sites that will actually pay people to promote their products and blast them out. So a lot of people on YouTube actually YouTube channels that can basically they'll like buy these products, they'll open the box up, they'll test the products out, they'll give reviews on them, and they'll be like, hey, if you think this item's pretty cool, check out the link in the description below. You can buy it from me, yada yada yada. Well, what's going on there is they're an affiliate marketer. They're pushing these products out, and every time that you buy a product through their personalized link, then they'll get a commission. Okay, so basically the books that I mentioned earlier, okay, that's basically what that is. Okay, you'll see a short link in the description below. If you buy those books directly from my link, then I'll get a small commission on that. But the cool thing for you is you could do the same thing. Okay, if you go to Amazon.com specifically and go all the way down to the bottom of the page, you'll see there's a link that says become an affiliate. You can click on there, apply to become an affiliate. You got to get 3 sales within, I think, a 180-day period, or they cancel you. So what I did was signed up, and I called some of my friends and said, are you about to buy anything on Amazon? They told me yes. I made them send me what they were going to buy. I created my own link through Amazon. I sent it to them. I said, great, buy it from me. Okay. And it didn't cost them anything more. They don't get it for less or anything. They're still buying the same product, except now Amazon's going to pay me a commission for them buying it through me. So there's a lot of people doing this all over the internet now. So that's another way that you can potentially make some extra income. Next one, guys, is to sell things. And I know we've been talking about selling things, but I mean actually like physical things. Okay, go and buy things. Don't pick things up on the side of the road. If they're in good condition, refinish them, resell them, keep the profits. Okay, so this is something that I'm currently doing now. I've been doing a little over a year, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about how I do this thing. So I'm saying refinish items. So you can go to these flea markets, go to these garage sales and estate sales, and you can get things for next to nothing. You can get like tables, chairs, nice like items that you can buy for like $1, $2, and some things are really, really nice. Okay, you can take these things, and if you know how to refinish things, like just sand them down, restain, repaint, seal them, do whatever, then go on Facebook on the marketplace, advertise it in your area. Okay, if someone's interested, they'll message you, set up a public place to go, in the daytime, and go meet in the parking lot like at a Walgreens or McDonald's or something like that. Maybe bring a friend with you and go and exchange the item for cash. Okay, or some people want to pay you online before they get there, and you just meet up with them, drop it off, and be done. Okay, another thing you can do is you can find a local place in town. Maybe a lot of places have this. I don't know, like all over the country. I know several states that I've visited have this, but they have like some local flea markets where people can go and rent booth space and sell their items inside there. So some people have like a whole garage or closet or attic full of items that they've accumulated over the years, and they're like, man, I want to get rid of these things. I just want them out of my house. Well, instead of just losing value and throwing it all in the trash, if it's just going to sit there, then why not tag it, put a price tag on it, go drop it off in a booth, and see if it sells. Okay, and the more items you have, the more potential you have of making some money. Okay, benefits of it is very, very low overhead, especially if you already have the items. If you don't have the items, then like I said, you can go to a garage sale, flea market, estate sale, 20 to 30 bucks, and you can buy a lot of stuff. Okay, very, very easy to manage. If you get your booth started, if you go and you rent a booth, you can just go drop the things off in the booth, and the people who work there actually take care of selling your items for you, keeping track of your profits, all that type of stuff. Another thing you can do as well is you can go to, you can like hit up your family and friends and say, are y'all getting rid of any kind of things? Sure, I'm remodeling my house. All this junk out of my garage. You can take whatever you want. You can go and get items for free from all kind of people and just go drop them in your booth and sell them just for a couple bucks a pop, because it didn't cost you anything, right? So you go and mark it up for several bucks, and you're making straight profit on that because it didn't cost you anything, right? Also, kind of going back to the drop shipping thing or selling on Amazon, the dollar store or Walmart always has a bunch of clearance items you can go and grab, and you can list that on your eBay store. I know I talked about not having physical inventory. But those type of items, if you find one that really sells well, that's something you could always do. But if you have a booth, then you can go grab a bunch of stuff on clearance, go drop it off in there, let it kind of do its things. As long as you can get some good profit margins on it, that's a good thing. So the risk involved, guys, if you have all this inventory, you risk just not selling it and holding on to it. Okay, but if you already have it, then it's not that big of a risk. But if you're putting money into it and it's just sitting there and you're not selling it, then it's kind of like, and also you're going to have a monthly booth rent fee if you're going to put it in a flea market. So there's some risk involved too. So you have to be able to sell enough to cover that monthly fee plus to actually bring money in to your account. Okay, I've had months where I made a few $100s off of it, and I had months like the past 2 months where it's actually cost me money to keep it there. So I'm like, okay, now I have to go run some type of sale to get the attention of the customers, maybe kind of get the items to start moving a little bit better. On Facebook, guys, the risk is little to no risk. I mean, you just kind of list whatever you have. But one thing to be aware of, like I said, always meet in a public place, in my opinion, daytime preferably. And if you can, bring a friend along with you, because unless you know these people really well who you're selling it to, then you want to always take precautions on doing any type of transactions like that online. Sell insurance, guys. This is kind of an off the wall, kind of out of nowhere, like sell insurance. What are you talking about? So when I was in college, also I got licensed to sell life insurance, auto and home insurance. So this is something, guys, you can do at your own time. I'm still actually licensed to do both of these, and reason being is because I insured myself and some of my family members, and I want to make sure that if something happens, I'm able to take care of them in a time that they need. And if I wrote their policy, I want to be the person to take care of all that, right? And I was able to actually do that when I had my dad pass away. I was able to actually expedite the life insurance death claim to our family to help us with all that type of stuff. So it's a lot of good benefits besides making some extra money, and you can make some extra money, okay, with this. So if you're looking to get involved, if you think you can't do this, this is a possibility. Find a local rep in your area who's looking to maybe hire some additional agents and contractors at 1099. You'll make your own schedule, and you'll file taxes. You have to file the 1099 as an independent contractor. So the risk to this, guys, is worst case, in my opinion, is worst thing that happens is you don't make any money, okay? But you may learn something from it, okay? But you most likely, if you put in the work and everything, you will make some money. Downfalls on it is you won't make any money unless you're certified to sell these things through whatever state that you're wanting to sell in, okay? So you have to go and put some time in to take the exams, and that takes some time because these things are not easy. But if your reps and your company that you're working for are good, then they have some additional training for you. They may be able to kind of speed that process up for you. And there's some people that start off part-time with this and end up turning into a full-time career because they start making more money selling this than they did as their regular profession. So to put into perspective, one night, guys, as a college student, I went out and made $1,000 in one night, okay, writing a couple of insurance policies. But the thing about this, guys, it was straight commission, and I went in knowing I'm just doing this to, again, help pay for school and make some additional money. It was never a long-term play for me. But again, like I said, I got the license. I keep it active. If I ever need anything to adjust on my policy or someone else's, I have it, as well as it's just something to fall back on. If I ever get laid off and something happens to where I need a job, I can go sell insurance. And guys, last but not least is investing, okay? Learn how to swing trade. Learn how to take advantage of dividend investments that pay you either on a quarterly or month-to-month basis, okay? And day trading, guys. So this is something that obviously I recently got into and am really passionate about and do now, very active, and a lot of people have ever since that crash of 2020, right? So this is something, again, if you're not putting your foot in the water and you're thinking about trying it out, well, what may stop you is kind of being uneducated in the whole process of it. So I highly recommend that you do some research on investing in particular and how you can make money and understanding the stock market. I have some videos on how to read the indicators and the technicals and all that type of stuff. Should be popping up in the right hand corner of your screen. You can take a look at those. Obviously, guys, the risk of this is you can lose money. Okay, it can take a long time, and if you need that instant gratification of I need money now, then investing might not be the best thing to get started in. Maybe some type of tutoring or training and stuff like that might be something kind of more up your alley, or a drop shipping type atmosphere. Same thing with the insurance idea, is that's going to take some time. Okay, that's the downfall of it, is you're not going to see that that immediate income boost to your bank account. And then also, guys, kind of on the side, another idea, starting a YouTube channel, Patreon, things like that. A lot of people are banking off of doing this as well. So there's a lot of videos, guys, you can look on YouTube and check out on really how to do all of these things that I'm talking about. But I just wanted to provide some insight on what I've done in the past and what has helped me, and what are some things that I'm doing right now to generate some additional income aside from my full-time job. Alright, guys, that's all I got for you. I really do appreciate you hanging in here. I know it's a longer video than what you're used to, so make sure that you like the video if you enjoyed today's video and got some type of value out of it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content. Hit the notification bell, that way YouTube can let you know every time we release new content. And also, don't forget, guys, we got the books in the description below if you want to check those out. If you want to buy and get some good reads, make sure that you use the links in the description. Other than that, guys, we'll catch you in the next video.